Ah, there you are. Hello, hello. Um, my wife's been nagging me. You need to do some more content. Why don't you do? When was the last time you did a video? You need to do more content. So here it is. I want to give you three really brilliant patterns, major scale patterns. Well, they are major scale patterns, but you can use them in lots of different ways. They're really, really simple, very straightforward, and very, very effective. And I want to show you the three patterns that I'm going to show you and how to use them as well. So very cool. By the way, if there's anything that you'd really particularly like to work on or you'd like me to make videos about, then please do mention in the comments. Right, so let's get on with it. So normally we would think about our major scale in a horizontal plane. So you would write it down like this. And in this case, I've got E major on alto saxophone. So I'd think about it horizontally, but if I think about it vertically, in other words, write the scale down vertically and then take the third note and put it up here and then continue the scale downwards. And I get a pattern which is called thirds, and it sounds like this. And coming down from there. And that would be a really excellent exercise for you to do if you haven't already got this under your fingers. Even if you have, right, it's a really good one to work on. It's fantastically useful, and at the moment we're just taking it from root to root, but you could extend that scale further up or down until you've encompassed the whole range of your instrument. By itself, it doesn't sound that interesting. I mean, it really doesn't. But when you put it to a backing track, so here I'm using a backing track which I've got from Session Band Soul Jazz Funk Volume 3, which is on my iPad. And I'm just going to play that. And if I play this, I'm just going to play it dead straight along with it. It already starts to come to life a lot more. Bit too much reverb there. Coming down from that G sharp, 2, 3, and. And if that's too fast, you can always slow it down. It's really not about tempo at all. So you can do that dead slow. Absolutely fantastic pattern. So yeah, you can do it. You can do it slowly if you like. In fact, I would really strongly advise to get the accuracy. Do it really, really slowly and go for accuracy. So there's going to be a voice in your head when you're practicing the saxophone that says, "That's not how Coltrane did it. That's not how Charlie Parker. It sounds much better if you go fast, right? Go fast, go fast. Don't go fast. Don't do that." Right, it's not the way. The way is to go really, really slowly and go for accuracy. Accuracy is the most important thing. It really, really, truly is. The second most important thing when you're practicing anything, but including these patterns, the second most important thing is consistency. Once you've got the accuracy, it's not enough just to be able to do it accurately once. You need to be able to do it accurately every time. Then when you've got the accuracy and the consistency, then you can go for tempo and maybe up the tempo. But honestly, you're just barking up the wrong tree if you're going to go for speed. So everything you do, slow it down, get the accuracy. So then I don't practice. The only reason that I would practice patterns like these is to help me when I'm improvising to sound really competent when I'm improvising, hopefully. And so let me show you how you would apply that. Very, very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a snippet or a fragment of that pattern. And so I'm going to go from G sharp and ascend the pattern. So I'm going to go from here, but I'm not going to go the entire pattern up from there. I'm just going to go a few notes. So I'm going to go, yeah. So that's do dee do da do ba, and then second time boo dee do dee da. So I've got a kind of question and answer feel, and listen to how cool that sounds. I'm sort of addicted to a bit of reverb on my sax. Put the reverb on, yeah. Reverb's really powerful, man. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you like it? I think it sounds really, really nice. That's something that I would do all the time. So that was an ascending pattern going up. We can also do a descending pattern coming down. I'm going to start on the G sharp again, and I'm just going to go... which is, again, really simple idea. Da da ba do dee da, ba do dee do da. Yeah, so that's going to sound really, really nice as well. So put so much reverb on this time. First idea. Second idea. It sounds lovely. Really, really, really nice. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you like it? It's a really, really sort of powerful pattern and a great exercise. So this is like gives you the double whammy, because you can do it as a dry exercise just on its own or to a metronome. I recommend doing it to a metronome, or you can play it to a backing track. This is the backing track, by the way, is from Session Band, and it's on my iPad, and it's Soul Jazz Funk Volume 3. If you've got any questions about that, just send me an email or ask in the comments or something. Really, really good app. I use this all the time for practice. Yeah, so that's one pattern. That pattern's I'm calling thirds. This next one is a very similar idea. Again, instead of thinking about the scale on a horizontal plane, I'm writing the scale down vertically. Writing it down vertically, and then as the name suggests, it's called 1 2 3 4. It's just going the first 4 notes, and then 4 notes from the second tone, and the third and the fourth and the fifth. Really, really straightforward. I think you'll get it straight away. So look, sounds like this. I'm going to rattle through it reasonably quickly, but again, just go slow. Now I'm descending the pattern from that A. And again, this was something that I would play with again and again and again and again and again, getting, just really get it under your fingers. Very, very useful. If I now play the same backing track, less reverb this time. Yeah, if I'm just going to take it from, I'm going to take it from the from a B with the octave key on. Yeah. I'm going to do that again. It sounds so lovely. So in that example, I was actually going from here, but if you imagine with the octave key on in the higher octave, dee da da do ba da do dee da, that extra note would be the F sharp, a G sharp rather, yeah. But really, again, anywhere will work. And a question that sometimes people ask me when I'm doing this one-to-one in lessons is, how do you know what note to start on? To be honest, this pattern is really, really, really robust. You could start pretty much anywhere and ascend or descend. Some things are going to sound better than others, but there's no avoid notes because all of the notes are part of the scale. So you could start or finish anywhere, but starting on the root or the third or the fifth or the seventh or the ninth is always going to be a strong idea, because those are the chord tones. If you're not sure about that, then ask me what I mean with the chord tones, but it is the root and the third and the fifth and the seventh and the ninth. So let's take an example then. Let's start on the seventh on this. I'm going to start on this D sharp here. That's going to sound lovely. So sounds really nice. How about if I again choose the G sharp, which is the third of the scale? I'm going to do an ascending pattern. So there, I've gone da da, excuse my singing, da do dee da da do dee da da. And if I just choose the G sharp again to descend from, sounds really, really nice. And now I'm going to put those two ideas together. I'm going to put the two G sharp ideas together. I'm going to repeat that. And then descending from the G sharp. Fingers did their own thing that time on that last phrase. I went da dee da da dee da da da. Yeah, so really powerful pattern. Again, as a dry exercise, a dry finger exercise, fantastic to do, really, really good, and fun to do over a backing track. So it makes major scales a lot more interesting to play than just playing them straight up and straight down, and then using them to improvise really brings the whole thing to life in a way that's very practical. So let's have a look at this last pattern, and then I want to share with you a couple of kind of cool ideas with these, how else you can use these patterns. So the next one I'm calling 1 2 3 1 for fairly obvious reasons. It's going first, second, third and first note of the scale, and then it's just continuing that pattern. So again, if I play it just straight and dry with no backing track, and then descending, yeah, again, if I do that just dead straight to a backing track, you don't have to do it that quickly, you can go any tempo. It's absolutely fine as well. Again, it's just the accuracy that you want to try and get. Using this, I'm going to start on the G sharp again and ascend just for a fragment of the pattern. So there, I think that sounded lovely. Sounds so nice. Do da 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 boo do dee da da. And I'm just repeating that idea. Ba do dee da boo do dee da da. Really nice. Let's start on another note. What about yeah, that's nice. If I start on the B, actually, and just do that a couple of times. Just do a couple of lines on the B. So that time I'm going da ba da do da dee da do ba. Yeah, da ba da da do dee da do da. Really, really lovely ideas. And that's not, by the way, when I say sounds lovely, it's not me. It's just the pattern. It's just so easy to do. So now, if I put those two ideas together, so I've got an ascending pattern starting on the G sharp and a descending pattern starting on the B, and that's just going to sound lovely. It's going to sound so nice. So just give you an idea of just some really simple fragments. Call them fragments, little snippets. But it doesn't end there, right? The benefit of these patterns doesn't end there. One thing to bear in mind is that playing the saxophone, or playing the saxophone well, at least to me, seems like it's a numbers game. You know, I play gigs and people come up and they say, oh God, you know, you're so talented. And so, you know, all these lovely things. I don't really feel very talented on the saxophone. They get all kinds of wrong ideas. They think maybe I started, you know, 3 months before I was born, or, you know, I went to music conservatoire or anything like that. And I didn't start till I was 26. I'm largely self-taught. And, I've never really, although the other thing is they, you know, looks so effortless. You know, when you do it, it looks so easy. I never found it effortless. I've always found it, you know, quite a challenge, really, in all honesty. But I enjoy doing it, and that's what keeps me going. So, but really, what it is a numbers game. It's the amount of times that you've done an exercise like this, in my opinion. Right. By the way, if you are naturally talented, or you did start very young, or you went to music school, fantastic, you know, good on you. Personally, I didn't. But if you didn't, like me, then what you do want to do is do your scales a lot. And this is a fantastic way of doing your scales, because if you think, if you play from here to here, you've effectively played all of the notes of the scale 4 times, because you've got 4 rows, right? And then if you descend it once, you've effectively played all the notes of the scale 8 times. So when I'm with a client, I get them to do this once at all, and then once with a metronome, and then a couple of times with the backing track, and then we improvise a little bit. So we've done it 5 times. And if we do this pattern 5 times, that pattern 5 times, and this pattern 5 times, that's 40 times they've played the scale on this one, 40 times here, and 20 times there. I can get somebody to play the scale 100 times in under an hour, in like 45 minutes, and improvise and have some fun, and it's not driving them crazy. Can you imagine playing the scale hundreds and hundreds of times? And that's really what you need to do to get stuff under your fingers, is a lot of repetition. That is the talent, really, is not going crazy or finding really interesting ways of getting the reps in. So so that's a really good thing. Plus, this will work, and I hope you understand this. And again, if you're not clear, I can explain it to you very easily. The idea of modes. So this pattern will work in any of the modes of this major scale. So if you start a major scale on the 2nd note and go up to the next note in the same octave, in this case it would be F sharp. So if I created a new scale effectively by starting on F sharp and going up to an invisible F sharp, which is here where my cursor is, then you get a new scale, which is F sharp minor 7. And this pattern will work in an F sharp minor situation, an F sharp minor 7 situation as well. It will work over any of the modes of the home scale from where it comes. So this type of pattern is really, really, really useful, way beyond just playing it in a major scale situation. If you get it down in one key, then the two keys that live next to that on the cycle of fifths, and again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know, because it'd be really helpful for me to know where you're at, really, and then I can help you more. But supposing you did this in C, then the notes, the scales that live next to C on the cycle of fifths, which is G and F, are exactly the same bunch of notes except for one change. So in G, the F becomes an F sharp, and in F, the B becomes a B flat. If I'm talking gibberish to you, just don't worry about it. The thing is that if you practice it in one key, you've done a lot of the work to be able to do this in another key and in another key as well. So you've done a lot of the work, you've broken the back of it. So look, I hope you can take a screenshot of this sheet, or you could write it out yourself. If you understand the structure, then you should be able to do it. Just write your scale down vertically and work it out from there. And have fun improvising with it. So I hope you found that useful. People are nagging at me to write content, but in all honesty, I'm not really too sure how to go about doing this. So I would really appreciate your feedback on hearing about things that you'd like me to explain. I have a bit of a knack, it seems, for explaining things in really straightforward ways which people just get, which is why I'm so busy with private clients. So I'd love to know what it is that you're struggling with, or that you'd like me to explain for you, and I will have a real go at that. I'm also supposed to tell you to like and subscribe, so please do that and spread the word. And if I can get the momentum going, then I'll do a lot more content. Have a beautiful day. If you've got any questions, just let me know, and thank you so much for watching. All right, take care. Bye.